I didn't go to college with the intent of being popular.
Please welcome BT.
That actually wasn't the goal at all. I went to college after moving to an entirely different country and continent, went through high school during COVID, into a new family after a high school experience that, if I'm being honest, was kind of brutal socially. I developed a lot of antisocial habits during that time, not because I wanted to be distant, but because I was trying to survive a lot of changes at once. And what's funny is that before all of that, I wasn't shy, I wasn't socially awkward, I wasn't bad with people. But when your environment changes that drastically, it can shrink you. So when I got to college, my actual goal was very simple. I didn't want to be alone anymore. That was it. I wanted to be able to talk to people again. I wanted to be socially competent. I wanted real friends. And I'll tell you how I work towards that. Not because I think everyone needs to be popular, but because understanding how this happened changed my entire understanding of people, power, and connection. Before anything else, I need to say this because it's important. There are 3 things to keep in mind. The first is that everything has drawbacks. Nothing is purely good, nothing is purely bad. The second is that life is about balance. And the third, which you'll see play out in this story, is that if you get very good at something, you might overshoot your original goal. I was aiming for social aptitude. I landed at popularity. Some people aim to get on varsity and end up breaking records. That doesn't mean records were the goal. It just means they trained seriously. So if at any point in this video you're like, I don't want to be popular, that's fine. That wasn't my aim either.
Why am I in your life?
I don't know, but I'm so glad you're here.
I also think it's important to say this early. You need your own definition of popularity. What do you actually want out of connection? For me, it wasn't attention, it wasn't validation, it wasn't clout. I wanted to stop being isolated, to be able to talk to almost anyone, to have genuinely good friends. Because there's a difference between being surrounded by people and being connected to them.
I know you must have mixed feelings about seeing me.
Shit.
But I want you to know, I am so sorry, Uncle.
Chris, how come you don't want me, man?
I am so sorry. I am ashamed of what I did. I don't know how I can ever make it up to you, but How can you forgive me so easily?
Your name?
I thought you would be furious with me.
James.
I was never angry with you. I was sad because I was afraid you lost your way.
I'm not gonna fight you. You're my friend.
I'll miss you to the end of the line, pal.
This close. Because I called in some friends. Because I'm with you to the end of the line.
In the end, you're gonna be the one on the floor. And I'm gonna be the one who walks away.
The center Pat Elfline came out to help lead the way.
Standing ovation for Megan Trainor, everybody!
Here's the celebration. Through the limbo.
You're smiling.
Taught us who we were meant to be. A father.
I made a mistake. I'm so sorry.
A friend. I never found the right band to join.
A dumpling kicker.
A lethal fighter.
A hugger.
Superman.
A nunchuck chick.
Superman.
A family.
So I started my own. With a few old friends.
He said he would leave me.
But you can call me Roz.
Sweet.
You want in?
There are people in marriages, families, 8-person households, friend groups, organizations they've been a part of for decades who are deeply lonely. So my goal wasn't to be known, it was to be connected. Everything else that came later, I didn't plan for. I had seen the phrase that your network is tied to your net worth. Since I was going to college, ultimately to land a great job, I figured I'd give this a shot. I had realized at that point that socializing is a skill. And like any skill, it gets better with repetition. It improves with feedback and it requires discomfort. At the beginning, I had to consciously practice things most people don't think about. Lowering my filter, being open before I felt safe, asking questions even when I felt awkward, going outside when I wanted to isolate. I wasn't waiting to feel confident. I was acting first and letting the confidence catch up. And slowly, almost quietly, things started shifting. People remembered me. People introduced me to other people. People spoke my name in rooms I wasn't in. At the time, I didn't think of that as popularity. I just thought, oh, this is working. Here's the thing no one really tells you. Popularity doesn't usually start with attention. It starts with competence. Being someone who listens well, remembers details, makes people feel at ease, shows up consistently. Once that happens, something interesting occurs. People begin to trust you. Then they begin to talk about you. Then they begin to associate your name with safety, warmth, usefulness, or competence. And at a certain point, your reputation starts moving faster than you do. I used to say, half joking, half serious, my reputation precedes me. And that's when I realized something important. What I was experiencing wasn't just social success, it was social momentum. Now I want to be very clear. This is not a tutorial on how to be liked. That's not what this video is. This is about understanding what actually happens when social skills compound. Because when they do, the environment starts responding to you differently. Rules feel more flexible, access feels easier, people want you around. And in the next video, I'm going to talk very honestly about the perks of that, the things no one says out loud. Not to glamorize it, but to explain how social systems really work. So if you're watching this and thinking, I don't want to be popular, you don't have to be. I just want to stop feeling awkward. That's where I started. Knowing what's possible gives you options, and options gives you agency. In the next video, I'll talk about the tangible perks that comes with this. Free things, access, people bending rules, and why that had nothing to do with looks and everything to do with energy and skill. If this resonates with you, stick around, because this story isn't really about popularity. It's about what happens when you stop shrinking. I'll see you next time.
Oh, I love college.